Now we're going to try and use this lens that I took out of a binocular. You want the curved side facing the sun. Supposedly the magnification doesn't matter, but the larger the surface area of the lens, the more successful you will be.
Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire.
Started smoking instantly.
The time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire.
Holy shit.
Try now, we can only lose. And our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire.
I've also heard that you can make fire with convex mirrors, which I just so happen to have one in the cabin here. So with this technique, since this is a parabola and we're reflecting the light, we're actually going to be angling it towards the sun. So your tinder needs to be between the mirror and the sun. Oh shit. Fuck. Well, it seemed like the parabolic lens worked really well. That's a really big lens. I think that's why it worked so quickly. And there you go. Easy way to make fire. This morning I'm going to try making fire with a bottle, which is very similar to making it with the binocular lens. It's basically like a magnifying glass, same concept. Fortunately for me, I'm always collecting bottles for my little projects. So I've got a lot to choose from here. I've chosen my bottle. This Absolute vodka bottle has a very parabolic bottom, so I'm thinking that this will make a good lens. Now how do I break this bottle so I just get the bottom intact? No idea. Ooh, snap. First try, look at that. Let's try the binocular lens too. I'm curious just to see like how hot this will feel on my hand in comparison. Ah. Alright. Okay, so that's like 2 seconds with binocular lens and you can't hold your hand there. So I'm trying to use the bottom of this Absolute bottle as a parabolic lens to get enough heat to make fire, and it just doesn't focus really. Just to be thorough, I've gotten a beer bottle bottom here, which is what the source claimed they made fire with. I'm down at my dad's shop and I just noticed a thing that I think I can make fire with. Let's see if the battery's dead or not. Oh! The first thing we're gonna try is using the lens of the flashlight to actually concentrate the sun's light. That's what we're after. The theory here is we put the tinder where the bulb was, and then basically all this just creates a mirror that focuses right on that. Unlike the magnifying glass, we're going to be pointing this directly at the sun. So you basically, if you were to stand here and look through that hole at the sun, that's the angle that you're going to want to maximize your focal point. Looking pretty good. And I have made fire. That was easy. And that was a really small parabolic lens. I bet if I could find a bigger one, I could make fire even faster. I've noticed here that just that one fire I made with my lens started melting the plastic. So this probably wouldn't be a permanent method of fire making. If you could find a glass lens, I think you would have a much more permanent solution to making fire. I'm going to try an alternative way to make fire today. For this project, you will need saran wrap and water. I believe I found the perfect parabolic glass lens. right there. Look at that, that's a huge lens. I just gotta get the glass off the front somehow. Son of a bitch. Luckily there's two of these, I guess. Hope this works. Something happened. So I'm gonna let that cool down, and then tomorrow morning we'll see if we can use that to make some fire.
Wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby.
Reflections on the larger reflector. That thing got fire way faster than the smaller reflector. And having the prongs on the headlight to hold it up in a perfect spot was really handy, I think. And of course, being glass, it didn't melt. Just a larger surface area reflecting more light. I've been playing with this beer bottle here, and I think I can get this convex surface to make fire.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. The time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light.
I'm seeing wisps of smoke. Well, that time I finally started to get a little bit of smoke with the Corona bottle. It's turning the tinder like black. It's just not quite powerful enough. For our next experiment, we're at the guest bar. Looks like the guest bar has been more or less depleted this year, but there's a few full beers, and I think maybe I can use one of these to get some fire. Yes, I just made fire with a beer can and toothpaste. It took a lot more polishing than I thought it would to get this thing shiny enough to make fire. You can actually see my reflection in the bottom of this beer can. I'm convinced that I can make fire with a beer bottle. So I've been using this one and I swear I can almost get fire with it. But then I noticed there's a weird line right here that goes around in the mold. And also you can see that there's just like it's not totally smooth on the inside. There's a little bit of like roughness in there, and so I'm thinking that's maybe not focusing all the light as well as it could. And luckily for me, I've got a little bit of a bottle hoarding issue, so I've got plenty of bottles to pick through and find the perfect Corona bottle. Okay, I think this is the bottle. It's totally clear. There's no dimpling on the bottom at all. There's no weird like mold lines in it. And it reflects the light just like a lens. Look at that. I'm gonna try and use this bit of char cloth here because since it's black, it works especially well for starting fire with the sun. It absorbs all that light. I know my last bottle, the focal point was further up in here, so I had to cut it. So I'm hoping we don't have to do that with this one. I'm gonna try it right at the tip. Check it out. I succeeded in making fire with the beer bottle. Finally. That's been about 2 months coming. Definitely not my preferred means of fire making. Notes on starting fire with saran wrap and water. Try and get your saran wrap ball as large as possible, which increases your lens size. Besides that, wrap it as tight as you can, which seems to make it just a better lens. Kind of squeezing the bag and maneuvering it to like fine tune that lens. I would say that this method is pretty novel. It's kind of funny that you can do this, but really, hopefully you can try a different way, because I had my bag pop many times. You get little holes popping in the saran wrap, and a lot of times that means your tinder gets wet, and it's really kind of difficult to get the lens just right. Using your lens on your hand with the sun's a good way to tell if you're going to be able to get fire. Another quick way is actually to look and see if it looks like a magnifying glass. So I found this bottle of wine, stripped off the label, and if you look through there, it's really magnifying my hand. So I think maybe I could get fire with this. And I have made fire. That was really easy. Of note, I've tried this with smaller bottles and it didn't work. And it's just like magnifying glass. The bigger your lens, the more fire you get. I found this Chambord bottle, which I feel like would make an ideal little lens. I've heard that you can make fire with urine, so I think I might have to try that. There we go. We're all ready.
Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on.
And there you have it. That was easy, really easy. What are my thoughts on making fire with the urine-filled Chambord bottle? The Chambord bottle is obviously an incredible magnifier. If your lens is clear, it'll work better, but as long as the light's going through and it's a good magnifier, it apparently will work with something that's not clear, whether it be like unclear glass or plastic, or if your liquid is slightly tinted. Like maybe if you could only get a hold of some kind of a silty liquid or juice, I don't know. Interestingly enough, I've tried these bottles with no water in them, and for some reason without water it just doesn't make a lens and you just cannot get fire with it.